Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about how to fundraise for transition related expenses, especially if you have a fundraiser right now that's online. This is mostly for you. Why am I making this video? I am making it because I get about 7 requests a week to promote top surgery, mostly top surgery fundraisers from trans guys. I didn't mind doing it in the beginning, but then I realized as the numbers started to get up that if I keep promoting them, my page will only be top surgery fundraisers. And so what I decided to do was make a rule that I don't promote anybody's fundraiser, just because I don't want to pick and choose, and because that's not fair, and I don't want to burden everybody that's on my pages to with all of these links. So instead, I've come up with a few tips that I think might help some people in fundraising for their surgeries. I do realize that making a video about it might get everybody to do these tips, so then it might not actually work, but we'll see where that goes. Alright, so first tip that I'm going to give you, and these tips that I'm giving you, it's not like I've never tried them myself. I did fundraise some of my top surgery on Indiegogo, and I learned some things from it and from seeing other people's fundraisers. So I've gathered some information in my head. So I'm going to try to make things clear from my head to you and see if we can get something going here. So what I would really recommend doing is when you start off by making your either Indiegogo or GoFundMe page for your top surgery fundraiser, and I'm just going to keep saying top surgery because that's like 99% of people, but some people have more bottom surgery and name change and stuff like that. So the first thing that I'm going to say, don't put the amount that you need as the amount that you're asking for as the 100% amount that you need for surgery. Example, if your surgery is $6,500 and with travel expenses ends up being $8,000, on the how much money you want to raise, don't put $8,000. I get that you could put your own money into that and it would make the total more, but I feel like people like to see a smaller number because then they feel like they're actually helping the cause. Because if the number is $8,000 and they've only gotten 2 $20 donations, the person who's going to go on your page who wants to donate $5 to $20 is going to be like, well, $5 isn't really going to do much because this is $8,000 and it's a very, very high number that doesn't seem reachable right now based on those 2 previous donations. So that's why I recommend putting it lower. So let's say $8,000 is your total cost that you've estimated, and you've already had your consult with a doctor or you're about to have one and you know exactly the prices and you've estimated the planes and staying there. So if it's $8,000, I would recommend putting, I would even do $4,000, $4,000 to maybe $5,000. Now I know that number seems really low for the amount that you need, but let me get on to point number 2, which is I think really important. So point number 2 is that when you're actually making the page and you've put the number that you want on there, in the description, I think it's super important that you outline that you are working, if you're working, and that you are contributing money to the fundraiser yourself, so that people see that you're also helping, so that you don't 100% rely on strangers or people online. I am not saying that this is everybody. I know that some people cannot work. I know that some people aren't able to work. I know some people are a bit younger, then they can't work and stuff like that. So if you do work, write down that you work and talk about why you need so much of the money raised, because if you work 40 hours for 3 months, you'll be able to get, I don't know, $2,000, but you have bills to pay. So it comes in, it would take you twice as long to work for your top surgery. Unless people were to help you, then it would take you less time than that. I feel like it's really hot in my room and I'm not making any sense, but I really hope that that's a bit clearer. Now, if you can't work, this is the tricky part, because I really only have advice for people who do work or who are about to get a job or and stuff like that. If you don't work, that's where it really gets tricky, because you could ask people for help and you could ask for the full amount, but then again, it might be intimidating to see the full amount of $8,000. So still, I would ask for a little less, because at that point you might actually get more donations than you would have gotten if you had $8,000, and then you can find a way either by making another fundraiser later on for little expenses, or asking for help somewhere else, or trying to get a loan. People use their student loans, people use their credit cards. I used my credit card, and it was just insane. I think that my fundraiser, I think I asked for $3,000, maybe $4,000, I really don't remember, but I was able to get to that goal, I believe, because I followed the kind of guidelines that were very arbitrary, in my mind at the time, and I was like, maybe this will work because, yeah, blah, blah. So I know it sounds, I feel like I'm like being a douche a little bit and being like, so this is what you gotta do and what you're doing is wrong. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. I'm just, I guess, trying to give you some tips, because I know that a lot of people ask for advice or ask to have their surgeries funded 100% and like share them. I feel like I understand a little bit how the public works in terms of fundraisers, because I've been on the other side and I've been on this side trying to help people and trying to get money as well. So I think it's really important to let people know your story, but don't make it too long. So in your description, you're talking about how you're also getting money from another source to help your surgery, but how also maybe your transition, something happened and it was really hard for you to deal with, or your insurance doesn't cover top surgery, that's why you have to pay for it yourself and stuff like that. But when people have like super long ones, not everybody will read it, and that sucks. Same thing with the video. A lot of people make videos like, oh, you should fund me. It's really great when somebody edits their video and doesn't make it more than, I think it's like 3 minutes. I feel like I've been making videos for forever. I have a list of videos to make, and I know that I make really long videos now and it doesn't get everybody's attention, but I just have so much to say. But I know that when I'm asking for help or when I'm promoting something, I try to make it shorter so everybody's attention is still on it, and I try to make it as grabby as I can. And since we're talking about the public, the one thing that I'll say that I think has helped many people, and I helped Parker fund his top surgery with this, is try to sell something. Try to sell something small. You could even, there's a website, I think it's called Teespring or something. You can sell t-shirts as a fundraiser. You just have to have a really clever design that people would buy. And I would also say bracelets, like these, bracelets like these, and stickers. There's so many websites online that you can make stickers for super cheap, buy them in bulk, and then you could send them out. So you can make, if you had some really clever logo that you wanted to put on, or some like funny trans quote or something that you think a lot of people would buy, if you made a sticker, I guarantee that people would buy it. I would buy it. Are you kidding me? I'm fiending. I have like an iPad case that is dying to have more stickers on it. So that's why I'm saying people like to have something for their donations. That sounds kind of like rude and like we all want, like we're not really doing it to help, but we are. I don't know, I feel like some people just like to have some physical proof that they helped somebody attain their goal. But I don't know, maybe that's just what I've seen. I don't know, that's not, whatever. So I hope that that was able to help a couple of people. I'm really hoping that it did. Like I said, I'm really not trying to dictate how anybody does their fundraisers. Obviously my solution, whatever, my formula isn't perfect. Not everybody is going to work like mine. I've seen surgery fundraisers that, you know, the paragraph is this long, the video is 9 minutes, and they still were able to get, you know, $9,000 funded. It does help to have a lot of followers and big media presence and stuff like that. But it's also great if you have something to offer. So that's why stickers, in my opinion, are like really, really, like people like stickers, people like buttons, more stickers, people like bracelets. And I feel like if you were able to design something or get somebody to help you design something, it would be really great to see how you could work with that. Anyways, so that's all that I have for now. If I forgot anything, I will put it in the description. I'm sorry if I did. It's just like literally, it's like 90 degrees in my room, Fahrenheit, and my window's closed, my fan's off so that you can actually hear me. So I hope that that helped. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and I will try to answer them as much as I can. And don't forget to, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Don't forget to keep being optimistic about, optimistic? There's a word, man, and I can't find it, about your fundraiser. Don't ever give up. If you feel like it's going down and maybe you got $500 in donations and you feel really great and then it just stops for a while, you should try to just look at you know, what you're doing again and just see if there's something that you're missing, something that could get somebody's attention and maybe get them to help donations and stuff like that. Hope that makes sense. Anyways, I hope you have a great week. If you have any questions, yeah, donations, yeah, fundraisers. Everybody wants to fundraise. I am not opposed to fundraising. It sucks that we even have to pay for our own stuff. I get fundraising. I've done it in the past multiple times. It hasn't worked every time. Even with my formula. It's not my formula. I just like things that I put together in my head to make it sound like it sounds good. Yeah? All right, have a great week and good luck with all your fundraisers. I really hope that my advice maybe helped at least one person. All right, have a great week.